Howdy friends, I'm going to try to make this quick, and I'm also going to try to make it thorough and informative because I am feeling really under the weather and my voice is going, and there's a distinct possibility that if it gets any worse tonight, I won't be in school tomorrow, and you will still have your work day, but I won't be here to clarify instructions or directions, so I want to make sure you get all of them now because that's what we did today. But just in case anybody has any questions again about tomorrow, you started the peer review today. I showed you a whole bunch of stuff today. Let me just go over one more time what I expect from you. That way there's no confusion for your final copy of your journal, which is in fact due Monday, along with your finalized packet due Monday. They're both project grades, so I really hope that you've been working hard on them. I know that a lot of you have. I really hope that you continue to, so that everything's in great shape on Monday. You can see from right here, I've got some examples of what people have done in the past. I showed them to you in class today. This person decided to put like a fake lock on theirs and sewed the edges. Also, some people decided that they were going to use tea to dye the pages, and that they would burn the edges of the pages. Now, if this is something that you want to do, what I recommend is that you take the supplies that I have provided to you. I'm going out of the shop for a second just to get you just to show you what the supplies were that we went over today. All of the things that you see here were created using white copy paper. Now the way that you dye this, my guess is you can find a YouTube video of how to age paper, and that you can look that up. But the real quick description, take the individual sheets, so don't staple them just yet. Take the individual sheets, pop them into, maybe like if your parents have like a wash basin, like a Rubbermaid thing that maybe they wash dishes in. If not, they have them at Dollar Tree for $1. You make the tea. You wait for it to cool a little bit, you pour it into the wash basin, you submerge the paper in the tea, you leave it there for a while, you take it out, you should already start to see the color in it, put it on some place where it can dry, and once it dries out, you'll have a nice age, and it'll kind of crinkle up a little bit and give that aged feel. You can fold it like a hamburger, like these look already, right? You're going to wind up putting them in there. Remember that I have this fancy stapler on the front of the in the front of the room, so that, and this is already put to the right place where you can insert the journal like this, face down. You come in and you just hit that silver place, give a staple, it'll pop it in and staple it very nicely. Alright, if you are going to burn the edges, here's what I'm going to say to you right now, and this will go as my proof that I told you this, and that I warned you in advance, okay? If you are going to burn the edges of the pages like some people did, okay, if you're going to burn the edges, there are two things I recommend to you. One thing I demand from you, you get your parents' permission, and your parents are supervising you while you're doing it. Two things I would recommend to you. Burn the pages before you write on them so that you don't lose all your work if, God forbid, the fire gets out of control and you lose the whole thing. Okay? Secondly, I would not, even if you have a gas stove, I probably wouldn't use the gas stove to burn it just because that fire tends to get out of control a little bit faster. I would use a lighter. Again, if your parents don't have one at home, even like one of those long stick candle lighters, if your parents don't have one at home, they're like $1 for a pack of 5 of them at Dollar Tree. They're not the greatest quality, but you don't need the greatest quality. You just need to get the edges singed. Again, that's probably something that you could look up on YouTube, how to do safely, and really get that good quality old feel. I do want these to be handwritten because they didn't have typewriters back then, and it really lends a more personal touch. You'll notice that some people decided to decorate theirs, some people didn't, and either is okay, but personalize it as you think your character would. I mean, some people have written on it in the past, do not open, for Tim's eyes only, give this to Betsy if I'm dead, that sort of thing. So personalize it however you see fit for your character. Because remember, this is you taking on the experiences of the character. I've also provided you with these line sheets. You can use your own line sheets. I just happen to bolded these so that you can put them right behind the page that you're writing on and have nice straight lines to be able to see, so that when you remove this, you've got nice straight writing across without having to see any of the lines on the pages, which is kind of nice. I'm going out of the shot again just to put back all the stuff that I've been doing and to get the Writers Workshop peer review form, because I do want to explain that. I explained that again today. Okay. This is pretty standard. We've gone over these before, but I do want to make sure that you know what you're doing when you actually do get somebody else's work that you're reviewing, if you weren't prepared today, or if you weren't here today. These moments or lines or events were really successful. Pretty straightforward. What was their biggest success? We always want to start with a positive. And remember, we always want to be constructive, which means building up, not destructive, which means tearing down. Any comments should be able to enhance whatever, whosever paper you have, whosever journal you have. It should be able to enhance, which means even if it was really, really, really good, don't say it was really, 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 really good, because it's not specific. It doesn't tell them what was really good or what was successful. Be specific. That's the best type of constructive feedback. If something wasn't so good, don't say it sucked or it was bad. That's not constructive. That's destructive. It's tearing them down. What you can do is you can say, I think it would improve your piece if you worked on this. This way, you're giving them the indication that maybe there's something that they need to work on, that they need to improve, but you're not saying it in a negative way, and you're also giving them a suggestion to build them up, to be constructive about their work. These ideas entries seem like there's information missing that the reader needs to know. Write down the number of the entry, and then give the information that maybe they can use to enhance their entries. I would have liked to know more about your character's interactions and feelings with this character. And I gave a blank and then I said, here's why. Remember, why is the most important question. That's why I have everything like why, here's why, because, yada, yada, yada. You want to be specific, because specific feedback is helpful feedback. Let's say they picked Sam, and there was nothing in there about Betsy Reed. Well, Betsy Reed, it's his fiancée. There should probably be something in there about their relationship, especially because we know she was important enough to him that he was writing letters to her about what he was doing, where he was going, and how he was feeling. Entry number blank was my favorite to read because. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Write the journal entry number and then say why. Just this one little idea would help entry number blank so much. So give the entry number and then say, this would be really, really, really useful. Okay? On to the back. 6 traits of writing. I won't go over them again. You have unit packet number 2 if you need the notes for that. Head back, go back to the rubric that I gave you at the beginning of the year, because that's what you're going to be expected to do for this. You're giving them a grade 1 through 5, and then remember you are being constructive about how to improve. Even if it's a 5, give suggestions for improvement. They may be little suggestions, but any improvement is constructive. So we've got ideas and content, organization, voice, word choice, sentence fluency, conventions. You'll notice that I gave you 2 comments that you have to make for voice, because it's a diary. It's a journal. It's very personal, so the person's voice would come across in a real diary. So give them moments, and since we're not being ourselves in this, it might be tough for us to be consistently, to have a consistent voice. So point out when they were really successful so that they can repeat that, and when it could use a little tweaking, point that out so that they know how to balance it out. Okay? The one moment I wish was in your journal was blank because, and again, you're giving that reason why. Let's say I'll use Sam again for an example. Let's say in the 5th entry, you thought that the interaction between Sam and Tim was really, really important, but the person writing didn't. Well, maybe you can say, gosh, you know what? It'd be a much better connection, I think. And remember, you never have to take anybody's advice here. But understand that it's your audience, and that's why we peer review, is because you're writing for an audience. Otherwise, what are you doing it for? And you're trying to make a connection. So make sure that you're taking their advice. Or you're taking their advice into consideration, and really evaluating whether or not you think that that's a good idea. So the one maybe they chose Sam. You thought it should, that moment with Tim should have been in there. It wasn't. Say what you feel, why you feel that way, and move on. The one thing I like best about your journal was, again, I like to open with a positive comment, I like to close with a positive comment. Make sure that you are paying attention to that. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory, most of it is pretty straightforward. So make sure that all of that is going into what you're doing tomorrow when you have the workday, whether I'm here or not. Okay? And the scavenger hunt that's on the back of the packet, which I don't have in front of me right now, but if you read the directions, it will become very, very clear. I want you to use complete sentences, like always, and I want you to fill all of the lines, like always. All you're doing is you're following the links that are on that internet scavenger hunt. You type in the URL just like it appears, and you'll be able to get right to the page. You pick somebody, you choose them, you write down all the information, all the answers to the questions that you know you have to answer, and you'll be in great shape. That is due Monday when the whole packet is due, and you will be able to get full credit and have a really great grade on your 5-week report. And I have no doubt that you guys are going to do it, because most of you are turning this year around, and I'm super proud of you. Keep up the hard work, both today at home and tomorrow in class, again, whether I'm here or not. Have a great day. Hopefully I'm feeling better. If you're under the weather, hopefully you're feeling better too. Take care, guys.